Great awakening, you beautiful brave hearts all over the world. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, the Doc of Detox, and we're here at the Braveheart Nation Studios in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico. Today we're going to be doing a real people, real healing. We're going to be talking about lower back pain, moles on the skin, also what people call aging spots. Understand something. If you were to take the word mole and then add a D, it would be mold. And understand something, that's what we're dealing with, okay? Whether you're dealing with moles or whether you're dealing with age spots, you're actually dealing with mold in the body. And just so you know this, okay, United States right now is the leader, okay, in prostate problems, prostate cancer, okay? It is now the leader, okay, in rectal cancer and colon cancer. Okay, and the reality is, whether you want to believe this or not, all Americans, my family, my friends, they're not awake to it, most of them. And the reality is they're being poisoned by BlackRock, and there's not even 1% of food in a supermarket that isn't just toxic, but is destroying your holy grail, which is your large intestine. Today, I'm on with a really beautiful woman. We will be interviewing her. But understand something, everybody, that United States of America is rotten to the core. You're pooping in your pelvis. They call it leaky gut, but there's no such thing as leaky gut, okay? It's a leaky large intestine. They call it autoimmune disease. There is no autoimmune disease where the body's attacking itself. You're actually pooping into your pelvis. And what happens is you've got a screen door instead of a steel door in your large intestine, and you are actually leaking waste into your pelvis that's getting into your bloodstream, getting into your lymph system. This is why everything is going to hell in a basket, from cysts on the ovaries to thickening or thinning of the uterus, okay? Uteral cancer, ovarian cancer, infertility, bladder infections, okay, all right? And whether you want to believe this or not, ever since they kicked in glyphosate and they made us believe that antibiotics are the end-all, be-all, cure-all, understand something, antibiotics will take your life. They will destroy your good bacteria. They go off like a bomb. We have children that have sinus infections, ear infections, mainly from dairy, whether you want to believe that or not, or from other things. And then we'll give them the atomic bomb, and we will set that off in their large intestine. And when you do that, antibiotics vibrate below zero, and so does glyphosate, otherwise Roundup, and most drugs vibrate below zero, creating an environment that the yeast goes to mold, the good bacteria goes bad bacteria, and you are now infected and infested with worms that didn't crawl into your body. They were actually created by the vibration of a low environment that actually created them, because what happens is when you start to rot out, and all rotting out of the body first starts in the large intestine when you have stagnation, and most people do not understand, okay, that right now pediatricians are teaching children and families that 3 bowel movements a week is fine, whether you believe that or not. These are not doctors. These are actually physicians, and they know nothing about health, and they're destroying America as I am speaking right now. And mothers do not understand when the child has an infection, an inflammation, or a fever, that a warm water tummy love enema, it'll take about 5 to 15 minutes, will bring the fever down, and now the baby's fine. And that all children, 98% of all their symptoms is actually because of a bowel problem, because parents do not know the art of potty training 101. And I know we're off the topic a little bit, but understand this beautiful lady here would not have her low back pain, and she would not have moles or even brown spots on her skin if she wasn't becoming an oldie moldy goldie. And you can become an oldie moldy goldie when you're young. And the reality is guess what? We've created our own manure piles in our body. I am going to be doing a one a day where I'm going to get into it more, and it's called You Are Full of S-Bop-Bop-T. And that's it. And you're full of it. And most of you are full of it with that in here as well. You have been programmed by a Rockefeller school, Rothschild school, right from business to health, wealth, everything, religion. Most of you are so programmed, you'll never find your way out of this because you'll never take massive personal action and do something like a whole health life certified where you actually go into your brain and you drain that brain of dysfunctional beliefs that have created a personality that's creating your reality today. And that's the God's truth. That's the God's truth. The majority of America right now, how much do you want to believe me? Only 2% of America, 2% of America, okay, has more than 5% good bacteria in their large intestine right now. 98% of America, okay, only has up to 5% good bacteria, meaning lactobacillus and also bifidobacterium. And understand the whole of America is rotting out, and I don't care if it's a fetus inside of a mother. Most fetuses are actually constipated already and rotting out before they even get a chance to get out. And if you think I'm kidding and you think I'm too harsh and too cruel, what are we supposed to do here? Just let everybody fall off the cliff? You think about it, everyone. Go to download my Perfect Day Guide and start reading that, pdgfree.com, and then go into my master classes in the BHN app, which is the largest healthcare, self-care app in the world. And go into the master classes and watch how to become number one at the art of number two, the All-American Meat and Potato Man, Spoiled Rotten, and the domino effect of normal living, okay? Reverse the irreversible, and then last but not least, the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing. And then tell me that I haven't given you more education than you've ever been given. And I don't care if you've went all the way through and became a medical doctor, because most medical doctors are just dangerous. They are dangerous. They know nothing about health, okay? And that's it. I'm not putting them down as human beings. I'm just trying to tell you, guess what? You better start listening to your body, all right? Good morning. How are you, love?
Hello, I'm very well. Thank you. Very, very grateful indeed.
And I want you to understand that when I'm telling you this, that your low back problems are actually really due to your bowels. And let's talk about that first. I'm going to show you something. Can somebody bring me over Bones here? Can you bring Bones over here? Bring it right beside me here. Thank you. Just bring it over. Yeah, that's it. Right beside me. No, you can come right beside me. It's okay. All right. Okay, so I want to show you this. Can we come down a little lower, please? All right. Just to the pelvic area. Can I see this, please? All right. A little lower, please. Thank you. A little higher. Thank you. That's it right there. So understand something. Do you see, love, how this is a bowl? All right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, just know this. Everybody's pooping in it. Mm. Everybody's pooping in it. You got your ovaries, you got your uterus in there, you got your bladder in there, you got your fallopian tubes. But guess what? Your low back pain is right about here. Okay? Right. And guess what? You want to see something? Your colon comes down the side here, comes around its sigmoid, rectum anus. Low back pain is right here. And this is because most people have stagnation of waste sitting right here, right here. And that means L3, L4, and L5, which is the main area that people actually get surgery, okay? Yeah, that people actually get surgery is a problem. Now, if you take a look here at the back, these are called SI joints. See right here? And right here, that's called SI joints. And if I were to go in here and do non-surgical with my elbow and pull the scar tissue apart and loosen up the calcification, you'd have no low back pain. But how did you get so much calcification here and so much scar tissue in this low back? Well, you were pooping in your pelvis, and guess what? You can bring it back onto me, please. So what happens is the pooping in the pelvis, the infection, okay, creates the inflammation, because the inflammation is a GPS creating pain to tell you that you're out of alignment. So the inflammation causes dehydration, so you get shrinkage of your tendons, ligaments, and your muscles become like beef jerky. Inflammation, inflame, you lose the oxygen, you lose circulation, and then you start pulling from the bones, you start pulling calcium from the bones, okay, into the inflamed area, because calcium is alkaline, and it's alkalining the area so you don't become too acidic. I'm going to say this really quickly, and it's this way. Every cell in your body has 0.04 volts. Every cell in your body has 0.04 volts. When your electrical conductivity drops 15%, you lose 15% oxygen. So you lose the electricity, because every cell is a battery, and human beings are a battery, and when there's no electricity left, you no longer are in the body. And the lower the electricity, the more parasites, the more fungus, the more bad bacteria you have. Do you understand that so far?
Yes, completely.
Understand this is real science and the rest is bullshit. And I say bullshit because I'm just, every day I go on with people and I have to have as much empathy and patience, because they want to rattle off 5 to 10 minutes of all of the bullshit that the doctors are giving them, the medical doctors. And guess what? I have to be patient with them. But do you know how much time that takes for me? And especially when I give my phone number out to everyone, and then they go and da, 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 da. And I don't mind, because I have to teach, okay? And then I have to tell a story to them to unravel all this BS, okay? To try to bring them back to logical thinking, okay? And that's the whole deal. And people don't want to believe this, that it's that simple, that, you know, that I believe that 95 to 98% of all your symptoms, all your so-called diseases, when there are none, is created because of your large intestine, which backed up onto your liver. And that's why people have kidney problems today, because the colon and the liver are in such big trouble, and because you have what they call autoimmune disease, okay, where the body's attacking itself. It isn't. You're just attacking your body from an unconscious state of not knowing that you have leaky gut, where it's like a screen door in a submarine and you're pooping in your bloody pelvis. And that's it. And you've been doing it since you were a little girl. You know what? Do you know how many children are being born constipated? Born constipated. All right? Okay, we've never eaten so much poisonous food in our life. Okay? So understand, everything is under attack when you don't have the large intestine, you know, and that would be just, all people had to do was daily cleansing tea twice a day, no laxatives, no stimulants, black gold twice a day, and that would get rid of all heavy metals, all parasites, all fungus and mold, drop off 40 micronutrients, okay, that the black gold would, and then go into the intestine. And I want to challenge every nutritional person out there, because I'm over it. I don't give people parasite cleanses. You know, you can believe this or not, everybody's parasite crazy right now, yes or no?
Yeah.
And the reason why they should be parasite crazy, because the parasites are driving you crazy. And you're full of parasites because you're a low vibrational human being. Now understand what that means. I didn't put anybody down. Oh, you're a low vibrational human being. I didn't say it like that. I said that we start off with 0.04 volts, and then when that drops 15%, your electrical conductivity, when that drops, okay, and I'm going to say why in a minute, but when that drops, oxygen drops. And guess what? Pain kicks in, inflammation, swelling, and stiffness. And then guess what happens? When it drops down to 25%, guess what? Parasites are created from the invisible. Bad bacteria comes from the invisible. Yet you created the parasite from nothing, thin air, in your large intestine, because when you get down to 25%, you have actually tissue decomposing going on in you. You're decomposing. If your bowel movements smell continually, if your armpits smell, if you have halitosis, you are decomposing right to your tissues. And when you start to decompose anywhere in the body will actually create from the invisible parasites to actually eat the decomposing tissue. And there's different types of parasites for different types of environmental tissue decomposing. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, completely.
This is real science.
Yeah, fabulous.
Okay, so now you're down to 25%. You created the parasites. If you go to 35%, that's not enough When you lose 35% of your electrical conductivity, it's not enough for your cells to actually thrive. They're getting desperate because they are alive, they are emotional just like you. Did you know that do you know why you should change your personality? Do you know why that we should become emotionally mature, which we're not? Because your cells have the same maturity as you do here. Emotionally immature. Tell me, most of the people you know are emotionally immature. Something happens in their life, do they lose their shit emotionally? Do they lose it and then they come back, and sometimes they don't come back for an hour, they don't come back for 2 hours, they don't come back for 2 days. Sometimes they could leave for 3 days and come back and never talk about their tantrum they just had in front of you. Tell me I'm wrong. So understand something. The same personality that you have in your life, your cells do. If you are fearful, your cells are fearful. If you believe in disease, they believe in disease. Remember something, you are the captain of the ship, and most people are a shipwreck. I'm talking like this because I feel like you're getting it, okay? And when you get to 35% deficit in electrical conductivity, you're 35% deficit in oxygen. Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize for discovering that 35% deficit in oxygen, which is actually electrical conductivity, for more than 3 days will cause a cell to go towards surviving on lactic acid, because now in that area, you're just a lactic acid pool. So the reality is, the more you lose electrical conductivity, the more you lose oxygen, the more you have lactic acid, the more you become acidic. And so it goes, oh my gosh, we don't have to die. We can now live off the acid. Now the acid is what's causing the acid, okay? It's acidic and it's inflamed, so it's causing the beef jerky, the stiffness in your back. It's causing the beef jerky in your pelvis. And what else is it doing? It's pulling the calcium from any bones close to actually buffer down so you can stay alkaline, so that you don't go to a stage 4 inflammation, which they call cancer, which I don't believe in. Okay, because when you tell somebody they have cancer, they think that they have a death warrant, right? And the reality is, when you tell somebody they have inflammation, they know they can still work with it. But you got to get rid of the infection on an emotional and physical level. And it doesn't matter whether you have low back pain or you've got moles on your body. It's still an adjustment in your personality. And if you want to get rid of the moles, guess what? They will actually disappear if you know how to cleanse, heal your large intestine, cleanse and heal your liver. That's it right there. Okay? And all these kidney problems are from the large intestine and the liver, and nobody's looking at that. And also the kidney problems, which is part of your low back pain, is your kidney problems, is this. Since COVID, okay, all right, so did you know this? That before COVID, okay, all right, okay, so let's take a look at it. 50 years ago, people were having a trauma 5 times a month. Before COVID, they were having a trauma 27 to 50 times a day. After COVID, the average person is having a trauma around 125 times a day. So what do you think that does to the adrenals that sit on top of the kidneys? Every time you're tapping on the adrenals to make adrenaline and cortisol and pump that into your body, you're overheating the kidneys. So between backing up the waste in the large intestine and the liver, pooping into your pelvis, okay, all right, creating what we already called, and then being a stress monkey, right? Because people don't even know that everybody thinks their personality is normal. If you take a look at people, you can see how stressful they are. They don't have energy, they just have that stressful energy. Or even the quiet ones, you can tell that they're caught up in their mind. Well, what do you think you're doing? Dumping adrenaline into the body and cortisol continually and having histamine reactions and burning out your kidneys. And then most of these people, when you're stressing out, you don't drink enough water, and they don't drink structured water. And right now, guess what? We talked about this. Blue light poisoning is the main cause of and actually people don't want to believe this. Blue light poisoning is causing more turbo diseases and turbo cancer than even the graphene from the bee. Did you get what I just said? So blue light poisoning is the worst free radical in the human body. That's already been proven by Dr. Jack Kruse. We already proved that if you watch or do any blue light therapy for more than 3 minutes. You'll never see me take my glasses off for more than 3 minutes. You shut down proper hormone and chemical making, okay? I never take my Teslas off for more than 3 minutes. You know, I stopped wearing blue blockers when I found these, and then I decided to become the the North American dealer of these, because they're the only glasses that actually take blue light and actually heal my hormones, heal my brain, okay? They actually heal my eyes, okay? Blue blockers don't, red light glasses don't. And the reality is everybody's poisoning themselves. Think about it. How often are you on a computer every day? How often do you look at your phone, and do you have LED lighting in your house?
Yeah, for example, I don't have a computer or a laptop, but I do use the phone around 5, 6 hours a day,
Right.
which is
So
a
guess
lot
what?
for me.
Already we know you've got hormonal damage, and that's why all the women are on bioidentical hormones. We already know that. We already know that you're not producing your own hormones, and 5 hours, you have so much free radical damage that if your mouth isn't on fire, then you're
Wow,
numbed out. If your eyes aren't burning, you're numbed out. If you're not getting stressed out, you're numbed out. Blue light is only supposed to last for 2 minutes. That's called noon. Okay, so now you've got noon all day, and blue light poisoning is worse than anything on the planet we have, and people don't want to believe it's worse than chemtrails. No, they just have to have something that they can argue about and blame it on someone else, because the blue light poisoning is your decision.
Yeah, and
So
the
nobody
thing is
wants to look at it, and because of our addiction to it, we don't look at it. And if you don't think that it's going to create it's emphasizing everybody's damage right now in their body. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. So right now where we're at is we actually consult people who come to DOD 5-star. We consult with them first to see if they should come. Most people, I think that it's better if they stay home, because they're really not ready to heal. And at least if we start there, we'll see how well they do, because people are so programmed to kill themselves. And I'm telling you, there's people who love my bluntness, which is probably 1 out of 100 people, and the other 99 don't. But I'm not here for the herd. The herd aren't going to do anything anyways. They want to be entertained, not inner-trained. So and the herd, I'm not putting people down, but if you follow the majority of your family, majority of your friends, well, then we know you're not going to be well. It's never going to happen, because the only way you're going to be well is if people call you crazy already. Okay?
it is
Talk
true.
to me about you now. I've kind of set everything up.
What would you like me to share?
I don't know. Let's talk about where I can help you, where I can serve you, love.
Well, thank you so much. So yeah, about the back pain, indeed, I have experienced lower back pain for a long time. But after some tests, they have discovered that I have the holes of the femur, the hips where the femur goes in.
Yeah.
They say that those didn't stop growing, so the head of the femur is too small to fit correctly within the holes of the hip. And I can feel sometimes when I walk, both bones hitting each other. I
I
can
call
hear.
BS. I call
Sorry?
BS. I call BS.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You already told me that you have low back pain, and so we know that there's going to be degradation on the calcium around the hip, okay?
Right.
And we know that synovial fluid is going to get lost as well because of the inflammation. And we also know there's going to be dehydration on the cartilage and on the ligaments and tendons, and that's all reversible.
Right. Well,
It's all
I would like
reversible.
to.
You know,
I
it's
would
so
prefer everything.
amazing, isn't it? So amazing. I think it's amazing that when I was younger, and I don't know if we're the same age, but I'm almost 68. So when I was younger, understand something. I would only see. I can only remember a couple of people with canes. Hardly anybody with walkers. Okay, hardly anybody with a wheelchair, unless they were actually in an accident or something like that. And that's the truth. And that's the God's truth. People need to research.
Indeed.
I mean,
Indeed.
you know, right now, canes, walkers, wheelchairs, there's a whole row of depends for people like you, okay, who are pooping in their pelvis, because eventually you're going to be pooping in your pants and you're going to lose all integrity in your pelvic area. So I'm absolutely right, and I am, and I don't mind any medical doctor who wants to come on or any other doctor that wants to challenge me. The actual ball of the femur will actually come back, and the dehydration of the tissue will actually come back, and it will only take 3 to 6 months if you actually wanted to it and spend the money, do calcium ion therapy, do Beyond Ormus minerals, magnesium spray, actually take daily cleansing tea, black gold, do the ultimate coffee enema every day for 10 days. We'll talk about how that's going. It could be for 20, but it's the only way to purge the liver, and you have to use black gold when you're doing a coffee enema, or because most people have a leaky gut, what they call, which is leaky large intestine. And when we're dumping into our large intestine, the heavy metals, the chemicals, the parasites, we want them sucked up by the black gold so they come out instead of coming back in and then recycled back into the body. So, and that's the deal. And then teaching you how to do pelvic squats, okay, teaching you, because pelvic squats are going to help to open up the area, teach you how to clap and use a clapper on your actual hips, because if you actually clap your hips where you're feeling the pain and the problem, and you increase the circulation, and if you're taking, let's say, Merigen 2 to 3 times a day, we're going to recalcify the whole area. Now, most people aren't going to do it, and the only calcium product that's ever been proven in the world is calcium ion therapy, which you can see the bottles behind me right here. That's calcium ion therapy. This is called Merigen. It's the strongest one. You know, you can use a weaker one like Cardigan for the joints. It'll take longer. And then a lot of people will stay on Megagen, and they'll never ever have to deal with osteopenia, osteoporosis, or the other 100,000 different conditions that come when you have no calcium ions in your body. And people need to understand there is no other calcium product, okay? There isn't another one that's been patented to actually take the calcium back into the bones from the displaced calcium and to actually restore new calcium. So, I mean, it depends what a person wants. Most people don't have the value to spend the money or the time on their body, and they don't want to be different. They want to follow the family, follow the herd. You know, they want anybody judging them, and that's the truth. You know, you could have a husband or a wife that goes, oh, what are you spending money on that crazy person for? You know, go to the doctor, get your drugs, and just let's shut this down. You know, so that's the way people have been programmed, yes or no?
Yes, completely. So I would like, there's nothing else that I would like to learn is how to have the perfect day indeed for this condition and to heal it.
And
I'm here
understand,
to do that.
moles are just, remember something, everything with the skin, okay,
Yeah,
the skin, everything with the skin is a reflection of your colon,
right,
okay? And the moles are actually caused from a clogged, infected liver.
right.
And
Okay.
that is caused because of a bowel problem, which everybody says they don't have. All right? Meanwhile, right now, North America is the leader in the whole world of rotting out. Why do you think 8-year-olds are now being diagnosed with a fatty liver? That's because of their bowel is rotting out, and they're actually pooping into their pelvis, which 20 years ago, we didn't do that until we were like 70. But see, with all the Roundup, okay, which is glyphosate, and all the antibiotics and all the foods and all the other chemicals, we've destroyed our gut lining, which is the tight junctions are now open, and now we're screwed. And you know what? People think, oh my gosh, why does he talk like this? Well, I don't know. I'm here for the lions, not for the other people that are going, you know what, he's nasty, he's too blunt. And understand something. And guess what? The children aren't watching, the adults are. And if I can shock maybe one into actually protecting their children, that would be the blessing of the day. Okay.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
So what I'd like to
I
do, just tell me your symptoms, and then we'll go through your day. We'll take a nice walk through your day. All right?
thank you. Thank you. Yes. So my symptoms, well, I apart from the back issue, it was
Yeah.
just the sorry.
No, go ahead, love.
Apart from the back issue, it was the moles that I have in my legs and the things that have come come out recently.
The back
And
issue and the things on your legs, like the moles.
yes,
And
sir.
how many aging spots do you have on you, and do you have them?
Oh, a lot of them. I have
That's
many.
right. Jenny, can you please put it so I can see the questions come up? Thank you. Can you always come and check this, please? That would be great. Okay, so just know this, the so-called aging spots, all right, they will leave when you've cleaned up your colon and liver. Isn't that amazing that you actually have these signs and you'll know when your colon and liver are cleaned? And you want to know something? Don't you love this part? We've all been brought up on laxatives, correct? So the reality is everybody has the laxative mentality. So you know what? I'm not constipated unless I can't go. No, it's not what comes out, it's what stayed in. Understand something. I am what you call a healthy human being. I'm a vibrant, healthy human being. And I think I look like it, don't I? Okay? I'm only getting started, girl. And understand something. If you want to help yourself, you'll never compare yourself to anybody in your family again. Okay? Because there's not a lot of people that are as healthy as I am. And the reality is this. We've been taught that it's a selfish thing to look after oneself. Tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah, we have been taught that, but that's not the reality. We are the most important person in our world. Yeah.
That's right. And right now we're talking about something that's very important. That if I could actually get a belief inside of you that, you know, you have to love, honor, and respect yourself first. And if you can't do that, you can't really do it for anyone else, except when you really want their love or their attention is the only time you're going to do it. What a crappy relationship that is.
Yeah, indeed.
Right?
Very toxic, very toxic. Yeah.
So let's talk about your day. So you get up in the morning and...
I get up in the morning between 6 and 7 and with a smile on my face, because for me, every day is a gift. So I start from there, like a gratitude moment, I call it. And then I do some meditations. From that, I go and have a glass of water with bicarbonate of soda. And after that, I will have some cayenne pepper with MTC oil, lime.
Okay, let's slow it down, okay? All right?
Yes.
You might want to take a look at, I mean, I'm only telling you what, I think the slight smile, even before you open your eyes, we need that slight smile right away. Right away, that's the first thing that clicks in. We got to program ourselves for that. And then you don't have to do what I say, anybody, but you can check out my stuff, but find your own way if you'd like. The Lionheart breath, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Do the belly button therapy. Because if you did the belly button therapy, I hope you know this scientifically, you dump more dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins than anything else you can do. You got a 20 to 25% more stretch in your body than if you, and guess what? If you did an hour of meditation, if you did an hour of stretching, you still wouldn't have that. And this is 5 minutes.
Okay. How do you use that?
Well, you take this, you see the little belly button buddy here who's got it?
Yes.
All right? And you take that and you put it into your belly button. And then
Right.
you do a clockwise action where you're actually pumping gently. We show you on video in the bhnapp.com, in the do-it-yourself videos, and you can see how to do belly button therapy. All right, and understand something. You do this when you wake up. It gets you on the right side of the bed. It makes you feel so joyful. More dopamine, more oxytocin, more serotonin, more endorphins are dumped with this than anything else that we know of. This is thousands of years old.
Okay, fantastic. I would love to try that.
And then while you're doing that, you connect to the Lionheart breath, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, slight smile, do your gratitude work. And the very next thing you're going to do is, guess what? I don't know if I would do baking soda right away, you know?
Bicarbonate of
No,
soda.
that's right. That's baking soda.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's baking soda. So I don't know if I would do that right away. I would rather see, you're trying to buffer down the acid, okay? All right? I don't know if I would do that. I would do something more like, and you don't need to do this, you need to just research it, okay?
Right. Yeah.
You find your way to the top of the mountain, okay? All right? And just know I will honor and respect whatever that is, okay?
Thank you.
But I tell people to do, and I don't like a glass. 16 ounces okay, but I tell people they should start their day off with a quart. 1 quart. 1 quart is what you start. Because there was never breakfast except 110 years ago when cereal came out, okay, and when the meat industry started to go bat with the cereal companies to try to get breakfast happening. People didn't do breakfast. They broke a fast every day. They didn't eat until 11 or 12 o'clock over 100 years ago. This is all just ridiculous. Yeah, okay, people think that this has always been around. Oh no, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's just a commercial. Now, let me tell you, Jim Gale was just here, and we did the Origins Reclaimed, 24 speakers, and everybody went out for breakfast the day we did it, Sunday morning. I didn't do anything. I just had 2 natural light berry drinks, like very light, just infused. That was it. That's all I wanted. If I would have had breakfast, I would be like going to sleep. Remember, it's called your circadian rhythm. And from 4 o'clock until noon, guess what? We are detoxifying. If you want to detoxify, if you want to feel young, if you wanted to get it done, then go with the rhythm of life. The rhythm of life is the detoxification period is the most important, is from 4 in the morning until noon. Okay?
So for example, I do fast from, I was doing the fasting from 6 to 8, sort of like that. So it's better if I start from
6 o'clock till 8, you call that a fast. I mean, it is a fast, okay, that you're not eating. And when you're sleeping, thank God, that is a bit of a fast too, or else nobody would ever be fasting because they'd all be putting something in their mouth. But understand that's not really a long enough period. And I already told you the 8 o'clock, you're only 4 hours in. Try to see if you can go a little longer. Remember something, when you wake up, that's when we dump more waste until noon than any time of the day.
Okay.
That's just, everybody does, because it's built. That's the way it is. That's the cycle. So if you got up, and let's say you don't need to do it right away, you get used to it. If you got up and you did 1 quart of structured water, and I did say structured water hydrates 1,000% better. And did you want to know something? Structured water is the only water that will eliminate blue light poisoning and 5G and 6G from your blood and fluids. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so when you structure water and you drink structured water, it neutralizes it in the human body. And structured water is rainwater, it's fast-moving rivers, it's waterfalls. And my structured water unit is right here. This will last you a lifetime. We give you a 90-day money-back guarantee. Put your water through that, and then tell me that you don't hydrate. Tell me that you don't feel the difference, okay? It gets rid of every negative frequency in it, and if there's anything toxic, it actually is protected by frequency. If people don't believe me, go watch Dr. Gerald Pollack from Washington State University. He's got all the research. It's called 4th phase water, and that's the only water humans are supposed to drink, because all the liquid that comes in your body has to be structured by your body, and that takes energy, and we need to be energy efficient. I already went through the 0.04 volt thing with you. Yes. So you want to hydrate in the morning. Every animal on this planet, and we are mammal, when they get up, they go to the water source. They gorge themselves with water. They have the biggest bowel movements going. Okay, understand that. Right now, I told you, pediatricians are teaching mothers 2 to 3 bowel movements for, I mean, what do you think? The child is a compactor? A baby should, after being breastfed even, if it's not having a bowel movement 10 to 20 minutes after it's breastfed, we know the baby's got a problem. Okay,
Right.
when a person doesn't have, I have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. I only eat one meal a day. I might do one big blender drink. I do lots of limeade, which is just limes and water with Ormus, Beyond Ormus minerals and black diamond. I drink that all day.
Right.
And understand something. I only eat one meal a day, but I've already had 2 bowel movements today, and I probably will have another one before noon. You know, I don't seem to be the kind of guy that goes, but I don't have diarrhea. I don't have problems going to the bathroom. And everybody thinks they go to the bathroom good because they're comparing not going to the bathroom good because you only poop with yourself. And if people were to download my perfect day guide at pdgfree.com, you'd find out you're not on the money. You should feel so satisfied, so light in this area, so toned in this area, so beautiful. You know, all low back pain, okay, all of it, up to about 98%, okay, is all bowel problems. That's it. Not small intestine, not stomach, it's bowel problems. Your bowel is supposed to be a composter making good bacteria, 85% of your immune system, and I already told you that only 2% of the population, okay? 2% of the population have more than 5% good bacteria in their large intestine now in the United States. And that's why we are the leaders in the United States of prostate and bowel cancer and rectal cancer. And uterine, ovarian, okay, problems, endometriosis, fibroids, tumors. Don't believe me, go do your research, okay? It's a landmine down there, okay? So when you get up, you can decide, but if you were to actually just, okay, I'm gonna try this quart of water with black diamond Ormus minerals, and it's gonna be in between warm and hot, because why? Because we don't wanna turn on the digestive tract, we wanna clean it. Warm to hot water, structured water, it has the lowest surface tension, so it cleans better in the body. That's the reality, and I win with this, I know it. And the structured water, warm water to hot water in between, it melts the mucus. It opens up the cells. It says, hello, body, I love you. And then when you bring in a quart of water, that was enough to go in and flush and cleanse and dilute poisons and start to clean things. And the black diamond in it doesn't turn on the digestive tract, but goes into the blood, the brain, and the cells to go in there and drop off 40 micronutrients and to pick up every bit of parasite and heavy metals and fungus. Seriously. And that's why we don't have, none of the people that do a perfect day ever have to worry about a parasite cleanse, heavy metal cleanse again. These people, I had a guy call me up yesterday, oh, I just spent $10,000 on chelating my blood to get the heavy metals out. And I go, yeah, great, that's fantastic. Guess what? They're all in your tissue cells. You spent 10 grand. You could have spent 75 cents a day and never have to deal with parasites, heavy metals, chemicals. And I'm telling you, humic fulvic is the biggest cleanser of all these parasitical things and heavy metals in the world. Not charcoal, not diatomaceous earths, not shilajit, not zeolite, okay, not bentonite. It's actually humic fulvic. All the science is there. And we're the only company in the world that use no chemicals in processing. Just food for thought. Black diamond will do your cells, will do your brain, will do your blood, and black gold will actually go from your mouth to your rectum and do the same thing. It'll drop off 40 to 60 micronutrients, but it'll pick up every parasite. It'll pick up every parasite egg. It will actually get rid of the heavy metals and the chemicals. And when it gets to the large intestine, black gold will reinstate your good bacteria, only being your mother's. There's no other good bacteria. It's just mommy's, not daddy's, and not something you bought from a store. And the black gold will reinstate it. Guess what our ancestors counted on for hundreds of thousands of years was the humic fulvic in the soil, which has been stripped out on purpose, because if you strip out the humic fulvic, you stripped out the good bacteria and all the good bugs from the soil. So guess what? If you strip that out, you're not getting it in the food now, the humic fulvic, so you're not getting it in humans, and that's why we have to take black diamond for the blood, the brain, the cells, and the black gold from the mouth to the rectum. And I don't care. Anybody can challenge me on this. You know, within 6 weeks to 3 months, you're going to go, oh my God, I've never felt so good. And that's because you do it daily, and you do it morning and night. The daily cleansing tea, morning and night. And the daily cleansing tea has 5 herbs in it. It's actually been energy charged. And, you know, we put this together with a herbalist and energy medicine specialist back when I was 32 years old. Nobody's been able to duplicate it. And you can take it morning and night for the rest of your life, and all it's going to do is support your lymph, your blood, your lungs, your kidneys, and your liver and large intestine. That's it.
Lovely.
So, but what do? Run to the rescue, right? Isn't that true? Your whole life, you just go do, run to the rescue, clean up your act for a while, and then you go back to your old way, and then you find out that you're back there again, and then you go and you behave yourself for a while, and then you turn it around, then you go back to your old ways, because everybody else in your family stays in their old ways, and everybody does this, okay? You get yourself in trouble, become an emergency, fix it up, and then go back to your old ways. Unless you change your personality and you're going to do something different, you're never going to have something different. That's it. And if you're okay to not be liked, and if you're okay not to fit in, then you won't get done in, because you'll actually be healthy. But guess what? And if you were to actually stand up for yourself for 9 months to a year, you will have the respect from all your friends and all your family, because now, guess what? You're not complaining anymore. They're complaining, you're not. And guess what? But you have to earn it. And guess what I tell people? It's like this: health at the speed of trust. Health at the speed of trust. Do you even trust yourself? Are you disciplined enough to do something long and strong enough that now you're doing it on a subconscious level? It's built into your day. You don't even have to think about it anymore. And guess what? You don't have to think about anything. You don't have any symptoms. I'm telling you that if you did a perfect day lifestyle, you have no symptoms. And if you do, you're going to know how to get rid of them within a few minutes to a couple hours. And you're not going to need anybody. You're just not going to need anybody anymore. Wouldn't that be great, to not need anybody?
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
Definitely.
Because you've only needed yourself. And if you show up for yourself, you'd be surprised how your world changes. So anyways, that's the way we start our day. But what I would do, if you really want to rock this thing, you would do the water, and then guess what? You can do your meditation if you want, but when it's quiet and it's peaceful, it's a good time to do the ultimate coffee enema. If you're too busy in the morning, you do it at night. And we don't do a coffee enema because I already told you, Gerson invented it back when there was no leaky gut. There was no leaky gut, because there wasn't the glyphosate problem. There wasn't the antibiotic problem, where you've got all these pinholes in your large intestine pooping into your pelvis. So that's why we have to make the coffee enema with the black gold to suck all that up that comes out of the liver. So, check into that. So after you get up in the morning, you get up, then what do? You do your meditation. And I will tell you, I want you to give a thought to this. Isn't meditation blissful?
Yeah, for me,
what if you could perfect walking meditation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I do walk a lot during the day, and I do walking meditation as well. Yeah.
Walking meditation is a slight smile on your face, connected to the Lionheart breath, and actually observing yourself when the family loses their shit, when the family has an emotional tantrum, when the world says, it's the end of the world as we know it, oh my God, and you just go, okay, smile, connect, none of my business, stay on track, okay? I mean, look at the people in your life that like to talk about trauma. I mean, seriously, and don't tell me you don't have them, because everybody's got them, lots of them. There's no end to it. You can't get me to talk about religion. You can't get me to talk about politics. You can't get me to talk about anything about the global elite. You can't get me to talk about corporations. You can't talk, well, that's why basically most people don't want to talk to me. Because unless I'm talking about creation, okay, unless I'm talking about unconditional, and unless I'm talking about observing instead of judging, and most people don't do that because guess what? They're addicted to their toxic program, yes or no?
Indeed.
Yeah, and God loved them. There's no judgment on my side. I'm just trying to make you aware of something, that sometimes your low back is because you carry the weight of other people's BS on your shoulders. And don't tell me that you weren't raised to suffer. Everybody on this planet has been born that if somebody's suffering, we have to show that we love them and suffer a little bit for them. And I am totally against that. And guess what? I have been able to end most of the suffering with my children and people in my family by holding the line. And when I started acting like this, okay, everybody said, oh, you're so cold, you're heartless. And the reality is this, people are heartless because guess what? Their heart's broken in pieces, it feels empty, it hurts. Why? Because they are emotionally immature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know, the reality is, do you think that if you stayed calm and connected to your breath, you would be there to help everybody when they're having the emergency crisis? And if you're not going to go along for the ride, do you think that maybe you might help to diffuse it by being that way?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give you a little sample. Every politician that's high up never loses their shit. They're like this. Well, that's not true that I've murdered 1 million people. You know, I've done my best and this has got to be incorrect. And I think, and then the person loses their stuff, right? Because they're really upset. And that would be the majority of the population are continually angry and upset. And what does that make them, love? Sick, because they're running a sick program. And then the person who actually did what they were being accused of just stays calm and collected, because what people don't get is the higher you go up, the more protected they are. You're allowed to go out there and poison as many people as you want, and trust me, you'll never be taken to task. And that's the guarantee. Okay? So what's the best thing for us to do is mind our own business, in the business of loving and caring for ourselves first and foremost, so that we can show our families that we're actually a billboard, okay, of sovereign freedom.
Beautifully said. Yeah.
So I know that people go, well, they just stick to our low back. I am. This is your low back problem. This is your moles. This is your brown spots. Okay, because we know that stress is the main thing that, you know, when's the last time that you were stressed out, that you ate right, that you thought right, that you breathed right, that you actually had a smile? You know, unless you're going to be emotionally intelligent and not emotionally immature, you know, so take a look at the people and the things that piss you off. If you don't change the way that you react to these things, then we're not going to, you're going to have to spend more time, more money, more energy to try to get well, to get yourself out of your emotional hell.
Yeah, completely.
And everybody has it to a certain degree. Nobody's free of it. You know?
Yeah.
I get up every morning and I do my sun gazing, but I stop meditating. Now I do my sun gazing and I practice the art of sitting meditation, walking meditation. And you know what? I used to meditate for an hour in the morning and then about 40 minutes at night. And I'm not telling people not to do it if you have the time. I don't have the time to do that. But guess what? Once I started teaching this, and I've been teaching walking meditation now for 30 years. I stopped meditating 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Because guess what? I don't have the time, and it wasn't benefiting me like walking meditation is. And understand, I get lots of chances, okay, to practice it. Because, you know, look at the way I speak and the way I, you know, like I'm not rocking corporations or government. I just have to exist and it disturbs them. Okay, let's talk about, now we'll move on. But you have to get the emotional part, and it's got to be important, or it's recycle, reuse, meaning you're going to have to spend more time, more energy, and more money. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So
after sorry?
Go ahead, love.
Thank you. So after I do my morning like program that I call it, I do the breakfast, which we said that it wasn't. Yeah, it's best to have the time to.
What's your breakfast?
Oh, I love the eggs. So I have 2 eggs on coconut oil, I make them fried, and I have as well dandelion drink with cashew nut milk that I make. Well, the machine makes it, and I have a slice or two of sourdough bread, and I have a big glass of water as well.
Too much,
Um,
too much. There's too
too
much.
much.
No, the big
Okay.
glass of water is diluting your hydrochloric acid, your pepsin. That's too much. And
Okay.
I would never have like a fried egg with, I won't say never, but very rare with
Yeah.
bread. Carbs and protein don't go together.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you did just shut down your detoxification, okay? And were you actually hungry? You weren't. You weren't hungry. It was just time for you to eat, and I know that. It was just,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a routine. That's all it is. It's just a
Yes.
routine. And understand that you'll digest with a fried egg 12 to 13% of the protein.
Yeah. I heard you
With
before.
with a raw egg, you're looking at 47 to 87%, depending on your digestive tract. A big difference. So I will do raw eggs because energy and for me, energy and feeling good is the most important priority for me. Nothing's more important anymore. This 4 inches, this 4 inches is not important. It's the other 30 feet that are important for me, not the 4 inches. You know what? People that live to eat are going to, they're going to eat themselves away. Okay? All right? All we are today is garbage cans. All we are today is eating machines. There is no such thing as 3 meals needed and 3 snacks. Anybody that's doing that, you can kiss your butt goodbye. And you know, even if you're eating healthy food, it's way too much food. You are overworking the system. It takes 70% of your energy to actually digest food. Okay?
Right.
You do know that I tell everyone, you know what? You should be taking 30% minimum of your financial budget that you spend at a supermarket, which is not even 1% pure food anymore. Not even 1%. I already know this. It's a fact. It's all poisoned. Take 30% and get yourself really good protocol, nutraceuticals and detoxification that you do gentle basic steps every day for the rest of your life and you win. That's it, you win. I would like someone to come on and challenge me that when I say to take 30% of your finances and spend that on nutraceuticals and try to challenge me that I'm just wanting people to spend money with me so I make more money and I'm conning them. You know what? You couldn't do it if you tried. We are malnourished and toxic. You're not finding it in the food in any supermarket, and most of the food you get is from a supermarket. It's not from your local farmer. Everybody in the city are going down. They are going down like a plane that's going straight nosedive. It is impossible not to. You cannot live in the city unless you've got a sugar load of money, okay, tons of money, okay, and you're just reeling it out and you're living in the city to make the money, to work for the money, to try to get the things that you need. It's impossible. Just absolutely impossible. Cities are unhealthy. They're going to become the greatest devastation. Somebody just asked, do you like Shilajit? I just told you Shilajit is low vibrational detoxification. I wouldn't sell it. Is it good for you? Well, it's got benefits. I just told you humic fulvic that's AAA. And then I get mine from Drumheller, and we have the only laboratory that produces it without chemicals. End of story. Our purity is way beyond anybody else's out there. I don't care. There's people that come on and they try to challenge me, and then they find out that, guess what? They don't have it. We are the only ones that have it, that I know of. Look I'm the only one that you have fulvic, and you can actually put the fulvic in your eyes and it'll reverse eye disorders. You can't do that with any other fulvic. We have the only nano pure fulvic clear in the world. And then we use the fulvic after vaginal infusion. So if you want to really, really bring your health up so high, Look at vaginal infusion. Do you know that a woman absorbs her nutrition 500% better through her vagina than her mouth? Did you get that? It's the Holy Grail. So we do what's called vaginal infusion. And at the beginning, we go in with infinite iodine. It's got to travel alone, and we disinfect the vaginal canal. Then we do a concoction, okay, with a launcher that actually to put into the vagina canal, the vaginal canal, and then it sits in there and soaks. And then after that, we put in the fulvic. It's called Bright Eyes Nano Fulvic, so because it's not black, and you don't want the blackness in there. And it's also nano, and we put a teaspoon of that in. And I'll tell you, how would you like to see a fibroid fall out of your vagina? How would you like to see all the fungus come out, the parasites come out? How would you like the thinning of the uterus to thicken normally, or the thick uterus to actually come back to normal size, or get rid of those ovarian cysts, get rid of those fibroids, endometriosis, get rid of your pelvic pain, get rid of your hip pain. You get rid of your hip pain and infection and inflammation by actually doing a vaginal infusion. Nobody even knows about this stuff. You know, and I'm going to give you another little tip. Your stomach is the first door, right?
Yes.
It's the front door. Your large intestine's the back door. If you can purge your stomach and you can purge your large intestine, you can heal the rest of your body. Most people don't believe me when I say that therapeutic vomiting is therapeutic and everybody needs to do it. You can reset your whole stomach. People who cannot digest properly, people that have hiatal hernia, people that have acid problems, people that have that bloating all the time. You know what? You ever notice that when you feel nauseous, it's coming from your stomach, right? When you got the cramps and the bloating lower, it's your large intestine. But the reality is you ever notice the times when you feel, I feel sick to my stomach? Well, that's because your stomach is so acidic. We have our hydrochloric acid, but once we get rid of the acidity in the stomach, we make better hydrochloric acid, which is the guard dog so that parasites and bad bacteria and fungus don't get past the stomach into the small intestine. I know what I'm talking about. I've nailed this thing. I am the best of the best. And when it comes to detoxification and healing, because it's an art. Are you getting it? How it is an art? And how
it is indeed. Yeah.
What?
And it is indeed. And I wanted to ask you about urine therapy. What are your thoughts about that, and using urine as part of the detox?
Can I tell you a little story? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Please do.
All right. So, and guess what? I will never lie to you, but I'm not going to bring up urine therapy because I'm already a quack. Okay. I'm already too different. And the reality is the majority of the population can't process the truth. They can't. And so I get enough attacks already from people, and I mean it, attacks. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. So here am I. Okay. So I'm in my first clinic. Okay. The first clinic I ever opened. Okay. So I'm 25 years old. So I got my first clinic. A gentleman comes in, all right? And where's he from? He's from Africa, him and his son. They had psoriasis on 90% of their body. They looked like they were reptiles, okay? And he said, I have no money. Okay, I just got here. You know, I have no money. And I was told, maybe you can help me. I said, yeah, I can. I said, what I need you to do, okay, is I need you and your son, and I laid out the whole program about how to drink their urine, and then I laid out a program on how to get clay pots and have the urine 1 to 2 days old, and how they would rub it on their body, okay? And I went through everything. I was in this before anybody was into this. Now we got people who will come on and say this because they want more views and they want shock and awe. I'm not into shock and awe anymore. Whatever. So anyway, so he does it. I don't hear from him. 6 months later, he comes into my office. I didn't even know him. He never had a spot on his body.
Wow.
There was nothing left. So it was gone. I mean, I had him also. I had him doing just these things: daily cleansing tea, black gold, black diamond, okay, and
Yes.
Ormus minerals. That's all he could afford. And then he did the urine therapy. And let me just say this: urine therapy, it's sterile. It's the greatest homeopathic on the planet. Why do I need a homeopathic doctor? Okay, and whether you want to believe it or not, urea is in every face cream and every lotion to try to heal your skin, and that's the greatest healer. So for skin, it's the greatest healer. So we worked with him from the inside out. I had him and his son doing enemas. I had him using black gold and their urine as enemas to soak it because they couldn't afford anything else. So, anyways, so now they're doing this, and he comes into me and he goes, I need to talk to you. And he goes, okay. He goes, guess what? I got to go to court on Friday. I go, why do you got to go to court? He said, well, because I stood up in front of my church, okay, and I told everyone, okay, just a month ago on how me and my son had healed our condition, and I told him the story about coming to you. And he said that also I wanted to warn you that Children's Aid is coming for you. Okay? All right? I said, well, yeah. I just gotten attacked for working on AIDS patients. Huge television station sat outside of my clinic for a week trying to find one patient so they could charge me with practicing medicine. Okay? All right? So anyways, it's like, well, you know, just here we go again. So I said, okay, I'll come to court. So we go to court. So I take the urine therapy manuals with me. Luckily, it was a female doctor. Thank God. I mean, doctor, female judge. So anyways, and I talked to her about urine therapy, give her the science, and I talked to her about how Gandhi, when he did his fastings, it was actually urine therapy fastings he was doing, okay? It was not like a spot of urine that he was wasting. And anyway, so that was that. So then 6 weeks later, I get called by him and he says, look, will you come back because we need to meet, they're giving the reading. 6 weeks it took. 6 weeks. So his son is being held, okay, by Children's Aid. Seriously. Wow. The government is so dysfunctional, I can't even tell you. So anyways, we go in there, and so we go in, she comes in, and she goes, yes, I've looked at everything. It's quite unusual, and I've never seen this before. And she just said one sentence: if it's good enough for Gandhi, it's good enough for me. Click. That was it. It was over. And so actually, it was this gentleman's pastor that actually called Children's Aid on him. So this is why I tell people, even if people have a good heart, you have to mind your own business. You can't give people information that they cannot even process or swallow. You know, so you asked me the question, I told you the answer, but I'm not going to get on here and tell people to do it, because just talking about people and telling the things I'm telling people to do will heal them, like therapeutic vomiting, like, you know, colon cleansing, the ultimate coffee enema, the clapping. You know, people don't get this. Healthy people don't bruise. Healthy people don't bruise. If you were to learn how to do clapping, and everybody needs to clap their shoulders, their neck, their face, their head for an hour every second day, and you wouldn't go insane. You wouldn't be on these depression drugs. You wouldn't have anxiety. You wouldn't have all this tension built up. You wouldn't be blowing your head off. Clapping is the key to set you free. And these clappers are inexpensive. And you know, it took us like about a year and a half. We tried so many different ones to try to get the right thing. But understand something. This is where it lays, all this stuff. You know, the reality is the more that you show interest in the 50 trillion cells and the 500 trillion bacteria in your body, the healthier you're going to be. You know, whether you want to believe this or not, I don't really care. People think I'm arrogant when I say this, and I'm not arrogant. I'm telling you the truth. When you become this, it's no longer arrogant. Do you understand? I don't get sick. I have not been sick for 25 years. No colds, no flus. I might get a little sniffle. I have not missed a day of work. I'll never have a disease. There is no diseases. There's just going to the wrong practitioner. There's going to the wrong therapist. You know, I just, even people who say that they're emotional workers. Oh my God. Most of the people that say that their whole life emotional coaches, I just want to run. I just want to run. The reality is this, is that it's very hard to find a good carpenter. Okay, it's very hard to find a good plumber. It's very hard to find someone that's going to teach you and teach you the right things so that you can take your life back. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hold people ransom. I don't want people following me. I don't want them looking up to me so everybody can think whatever they want. Just because I'm in love with myself and I'm going to stay there, that's how I stay healthy. I know the key. Don't think I'm ever going to change that. People call it arrogance. They call it selfish. None of this is selfish. Most people are, you know what, if they were to put a price tag on themselves, they'd be worth $1.95. And that's because of all of the self-loathing they do, because they were put down so much when they were in the womb, and they'll be put down all the way to the tomb until they learn how to love, honor, respect themselves. And that's it. And as far as the urine thing goes, yes, it works. And that's the deal, right?
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And I will tell you that if you really want to have more energy, stop doing breakfast. And if you want to have your eggs, hey, look at right now, it's all just a lie. Okay, it's a lie. You would have to take a raw egg and put it out in the hot sun for at least 4 to 5 hours in liquid form and then eat it. Now, who's going to do that? That would be, you know, of course. But the reality is this. I tell people, make a big blender drink, you know, 32 to 40 ounces. Put in about anywhere 2, 3, or 4 raw eggs into it. Just do gentle baby steps. Why would you believe me? I don't know anything, right? Okay, and then put in those raw eggs, put in that one type of berry, okay? I like berries because they're really high in vitamin C, antioxidants. And then I would use a really good coconut milk, organic, and then I would put in black gold. I put in my C60 in that as well, and I put in my Mag Infusion magnesium. That's what I like. And then I will drink that. I don't need anything else for the rest of the day. I'll do my lemonade. This is a quart of lemonade here, okay, made out of limes, because limes are tons of limes down here. And it's just lime, and a very small little bit of pure wave honey, the highest vibrational healing honey in the world. We sell it. And right now, if anybody buys a pure wave magnet, you need to go watch the video to find out why you would buy one. It's so amazing for purification of the body, for the food, everything. It does so many things. We're giving a whole case, 12 honey. We don't make any money off of it. We're doing to promote Pure Wave, because they give these magnets to people with beehives. And you know how they say the bees are dying? Well, if you put one of these magnets in a beehive, even if there's 5G, 6G around, the beehive will be double the capacity of bees every season, because the magnet outweighs the magnetic pollution or the EMF pollution that man is creating now. So anyways, that's my story.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you, so do you mentioned that you only have one meal a day, which is the eggs with the berries?
No.
No.
First of all, love, when you take a raw egg, there's hardly any digestion needed. When you do berries, there's hardly any digestion needed. When you do coconut milk, there's hardly any digestion needed. So, okay, so just know this. It'll be, depending on how I feel, anywhere from 11 until 1 o'clock, I'm kicking in the first blender drink. The odd time I might do a second one around 3 o'clock, but I usually don't need it. I do my nutraceuticals. I do my Perfect Day Multi. I do my Beyond Dormant Minerals. I do my Black Diamond in my drinking water. I do the Black Gold in the blender drinks. You know, I take my calcium ion therapy. You know, I take IGF 300,000, which is what you used to make when you were younger, a young girl, and you had all that energy. and used to go out dancing and partying, and you were ready to do it again the next day, you made IGF-1, which is from human growth hormone.
Right.
This is the holy grail of everything. IGF-1 is what makes you young. You take that every day, and guess what? You'll feel like you're 26 every day. Okay?
Oh,
Like
fabulous.
you can believe it or not, but you know, yesterday I did 7 hours of video, and then I did 4 consultations, and then I was with Jim Gale, and then we took him to the airport, and then I went, came home, and then we went biking, and then I went swimming.
Right.
All
Wow.
right, and I started at 5:30 yesterday morning. I'm not trying to show off. I'm trying to tell you that that's a normal life for me. What people consider to be normal, you can forget it. People that shop at the supermarket, they can't think straight. They don't have much energy. They're complaining about their symptoms. You know that. They're always complaining. They're not talking about their drugs. They're talking about somebody who's on drugs, or they're talking about somebody who's getting surgery. Oh, please. You know what? Yeah. You know what? When we do family dinners, when I go to United States, okay, or Canada, because I've got relatives in both places, if I go to a family dinner, I just stay in the living room with the young children, because I need a high vibrational conversation. And that's the truth. And if my relatives see it, they know it. They don't like me saying that, but it's true. I'm not going to sit around a table and talk about everything that's wrong, because that's all they do. That's all they do. Oh, let's give thanks. Okay, we give the thanks, and then after that, we talk about all our problems. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
indeed.
let's keep talking about you.
Thank you. So, so after what I had breakfast, I go and have a shower. In that process, while I'm in there, I do I clean all my attachments and parasites, and I
What?
do
You what?
yeah, I clean all the parasites and attachments that I could have gained
How
from.
do you do that?
Oh, through some process that I've learned in
Okay.
healing as well.
All right. Okay. Well, you
Yeah.
might want to try the ultimate coffee enema,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
because
And I mean with attachments and parasites is that when we have conversations, I know you know this. When we have conversations, we create an invisible link with that person. So it's just cutting all those different attachments or cords that I have created, and to start dating.
but guess what? Eventually, you shouldn't be
Um,
creating them. That's what a walking meditation is. A walking
right.
meditation is called living in the eternal moment. We're not talking about the present moment, because there is no present. It's called the eternal moment. You can't have a parasite if you are in the eternal moment with a slight smile on your face, and you're actually working on your passion and your purpose and your creativity. Remember something, you only have to go in to undo something because you didn't create a new program, subconscious program, that when you're not conscious, that you're not running a program that creates them. So the reality would be to get the tools not to create it, so you don't have to go in to remove it. And that would be, the more that you focus on what you want, not what you don't want. I've got 25 years of psychology, and I've probably done about I don't know, 3,000 whole life coach courses for people. And I'll tell you something right now, I'd rather take a shortcut to grandma's house.
Understand? Yes.
Yeah. So I don't need to go on I don't believe in the unraveling and the focusing on the things. I never focus on what I want to get rid of. I only focus on what I want. That is where all the training, emotional training, is backwards for me. I do not do that. Do not consent to it. All you got to do is focus on what you want in your life, because there is a thing called creator, and we are the speaker system and the antenna, and what we put out, we get back. And I would never make a ritual of going in to get rid of the parasites that I might not have, to focus on that. It wouldn't, I would upgrade that one. Whoever taught you that one, I think you should tell them they should maybe look at it again, and tell people not to focus on the parasites, focus on only what you want to see, and that'll happen faster. Okay? It's like the person who says, well, I'm glad you came to see me, Mrs. Jones. You know, what we're going to do for the first 6 months here is we're going to try to see if we can get you to forgive yourself and then forgive your family and everybody else. Okay, it's going to be a bit of work here. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, the whole platform of this emotional stuff has got to be the craziest thing. Visualize what you want, and that's all I teach. When I teach a whole life health certified, you ever come to see it, and you're going to find out. By the third day, you will go, you know what? I get it now. I get it. I get it. Why weren't we taught that? Why wasn't I taught that as a child? Why couldn't I teach this to my children? Because you're not supposed to. It's the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is you only talk, you only think, and you only focus on what you want. That's it. I don't want cancer. You're going to have it forever. I'm going to go to battle with this cancer. You know you cannot. You're going to battle with your body. Okay? All right? I am not a freedom fighter. I am a freedom lover. That is it. I am not going to battle with anything in my body or anything in my life. It's not going to happen. I'm going to visualize exactly where I want to be. And every day I am going to advance myself by 1%. I don't have to do any more because in 100 days I've done 100% and I'll start all over again. Gentle baby loving steps. I'm not going to talk to you about things that I don't want in my life. And if I do, I'm going to come in, I'm going to protect myself. I protect myself whenever I come to any kind of conversation.
Okay.
All right? And guess how do you do that? You do not take on any emotional responsibility, okay, for terrorism. And understand, that's the truth. Think about how people want to tell you how bad they have it, or how much pain they're in, or how much suffering they have. They become the program. When somebody comes to us here in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo to DOD 5-star, that's why I only take 3 people at a time now. Because guess what? I will lovingly show them that, guess what? You watch your mouth. You watch your brain. Get off the pain train. You watch the way you talk. You observe the way you talk. And then when you catch yourself where the tail comes around and slaps you, you're going to observe and not judge and go, you keep it light. I gotcha. All right, I do see what Dr. Wolfe was talking about. Trust me, it only takes 2 to 3 days for people to come here to actually get what I'm talking about and to actually get that, guess what? When they go, they don't ever judge again what anybody says. They never judge again, but everything that comes out is high vibrational. We, become the solution, not the pollution. All right? Tell me what you want. Don't work on what you don't want. Oh, I'm going to work on what I don't want. Just in case I have parasites, I'm going to work on the parasites. Well, guess what? Keep doing it, and you're creating it. I'm not trying to, if you love what you're doing, just keep doing it, because what do I know, right? I'm just a guy.
Thank you. No, indeed, change is important, and to learn the things that I still need to learn. I'm open to that and fully into the process and the journey of this healing and changing, of course.
Just know this. What would be so bad if all your thoughts and your words were just in the vibration of the heavenly? What's so wrong with feeling blessed and blissful all the time? What's so wrong with minding your own business? You know, these psychopaths are always going to be trying to create wars and try to get us to go to them. You know, they're always going to be trying to murder someone and poison people. That's their orgasm. It's none of my business. My business is to spread joy and courage and faith in oneself.
I think you do.
Understand there's not a person that that does not deserve a beautiful life.
Mm.
And when we're all done, just remember, it doesn't matter what story they gave you when you came down here. We all have the same creator.
Mm.
We're supposed to be family. So what if I let everybody off the hook on the planet? I just let myself off the hook. All right? You can't go to war with anything anymore. It's never worked and it never will. Whether it's your body or with the parasites. I'm going to teach people how to bring their vibration up so high that they don't create parasites within their body, or if they happen to swallow one that's in a food, that the vibration's so high the parasite packs up and leaves out the other end.
Mm. That would be fantastic.
I'm not going to go in to try to kill parasites. Do I need all these dead soldiers around me? You do know that people that are doing fenbendazole and ivermectin are causing huge problems for them.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And if you decide you want to do those things, then at least do the daily cleansing tea in black gold, okay, for 10 days and open up the portals so that the dead soldiers can come out the other end. You've got stagnation and waste. They're going to rot inside of you. And then ivermectin doesn't take care of the eggs, and neither does fenbendazole. So if you don't have a perfect day protocol that just keeps the environment nice and neat on a continual basis with gentle baby steps, why? I don't know. I'm tired of running to the rescue, aren't you?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Indeed.
All right. So lunch, what do you do for lunch?
I don't eat lunch.
Okay.
I just wait until 4 o'clock, and that's when I will have a meal, which is normally based on fruits. And now that the weather is changing, salads, vegetables, that's what I will have. Um, and that will be my last meal of
Make
the
sure
day.
that the fruits are in season as much as possible.
Right. Here in England is yeah, we have to get what normally that's what I get, organic and what is in season. So
Very good.
at least that way I
I'm
can.
not a big fruit guy, to be honest with you.
Right. Right. I grew
I'll
up
do it
in
in the
California.
blender drink, but I'm not a big fruit guy.
I'm the
I
same.
think some people do too much fruit. And make sure everyone who's listening that you never ever do fruit juice, ever, 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 ever. And just know that even if you squeeze your natural orange juice and you drink it, you just put your immune system into crisis for 8 hours. Okay?
Right.
Okay? So that's important to
Okay.
understand.
Thank you. I didn't know that. I normally I blend the fruit and I drink it. And I suppose that that's something that comes with
I
me
think it's
since
way too much
child.
sugar. I think it's way too much sugar. And I'm not talking about sugar to feed cancer, because that's not what I'm talking about. I just think you're spiking yourself too much with
Okay.
fructose. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Fructose, you're
Yes.
spiking yourself, and you're just trying to jack yourself up.
Right. Okay. So much to learn. Yeah. And I suppose that, as I was saying, that comes from growing up in a country where we had so much fruit and so much variety, that I would drink juice fruit every day, all the time. And that stayed a little bit within me.
Well,
So it's nice
that's
to
a big
correct that.
problem. No, it's a big problem. It's a big
It's
problem.
good to correct that then. Yeah,
What?
thank you. That
Yeah,
is, it would be very
and if you were going to do fruit juice, I tell people it's 20 to 80, and I still wouldn't do it. It's not my
yeah,
deal. It's
yeah.
20 to 80.
Okay.
That would be 80% structured water, 20% fruit juice, and that's light enough. Don't whack your bloodstream out. That's what you're doing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that will be my last meal. After that, I will do another meditation. I will do um, cold shower as I can. I do 3 times a day with this to clean my nose with the urine. Um, So I do it again in the
Well,
evening.
take a look at also doing infinite iodine and
Infinite
nebulize,
iodine.
okay? All right?
Okay.
And just so people know, I have, you see this, everyone? This is called
Yeah.
Silver Bullet Nasal Spray. This is the first time it's been on the market. You may not know this, but all silver products, I don't care if it's Sovereign Silver, what the name is, it's good for 8 to 10 minutes. My Silver Bullet nasal spray, it's good for 8 to 10 hours when you spray that into your sinuses. 8 to 10 hours, there's nothing like it. And also I have here, I just want to show people because we're here, and it's called Silver Bullet Immunity. This is the first type product of its kind. I'm serious. You take this. You go ahead and do all the other silver products. It's 8 to 10 minutes. This is 8 to 10 hours. All right?
Wow.
Okay? So that's what you call bringing down the thunder. If we take Silver Bullet Immunity and we nebulize that, it goes into the brain, goes into the lungs, goes into the blood, goes into the lymph system. I'm telling you, you've never seen anything like this. This is stronger than an infusion or transfusion, okay? The gas will go everywhere. So if you nebulize Silver Bullet Immunity, Bright Eyes, Nano Drops, and infinite iodine, our infinite iodine is the only pure iodine on the planet, meaning it has no toxic side effects, and you can nebulize it. And if you nebulize these three things and you take turns going from one to the other, there's no such thing as a virus, a bad bacteria, fungal in you. There just isn't. And guess what? It's not a powder, it's not a liquid. We're going to nebulize it into a gas. And here's the nebulizer. I would get a personal one, small one like this, but I would get a home one too, right beside your bed, and fall asleep with it on and breathe it in. There's no toxicity. And guess what? You can believe this or not, but we're talking about stage 4, stage 5, and they're talking about cancer, lung cancer. And I'm talking about people that work at McDonald's and they're in their 70s because they don't have enough money. And all they do is nebulize what I just said. Silver Bullet Immunity, infinite iodine, and Bright Eyes Nanofulvic. And for some reason, within 3 months, usually to 6 months, they go, not everybody, I'm talking about, it creates an environment that this can't live in. I don't use the word cure, okay? But the reality is this, that we have testimonials of people that, were given weeks to live, and they didn't have the money to do anything else, but they nebulized like their life depended on it, and they're still here. End of story. And everybody, just know this, the elderly are passing away because of lung problems. And understand something, everybody, how would you like to have this in your blood, in your brain, in your cells, and have it for pennies a day? Pennies a day. Did you know that they threw away 350 nebulizers, the FDA, and told me if I ever sold nebulizers, they'd close my website down? Meanwhile, you can buy a nebulizer anywhere. And you know why? Because of the 3 products I just told you about.
Wow.
3 products I just told you about. Yeah.
My
Okay.
goodness, this world that we live in. Yeah, and basically after that, I do walk a lot of hours during the day. That will be my exercise.
I'll be honest with you. The people that walk for hours are trying to figure their life out. That's all. So understand that. People that walk for hours, they're psycho. They're absolutely psycho. And they come back and they haven't figured anything out. But their whole mind, that when they're walking, they look around. But understand, they're trying to figure everything out. And guess what? There's nothing to figure out. And I would tell you right now that you should be doing things that you love. Okay, I've got a saltwater structured ionized pool. I swim in that twice a day. I go and I get on my electric bike and I can go for miles and miles. Okay, we love to play pickleball. Whatever you're doing, you know what? And don't do that. Find more fun in your life. You're too serious. You're way too serious. I don't care what you're thinking. I think you're way too much. You're way too caught in your head. Everything you've said to me today is all about head. You're all head. I want to see you becoming all heart, and I want to see that everything you do is I'm going to do that because it's more fun. I'm going to do that because it's more fun. And understand something. That's how you heal. You know?
Fantastic.
You're
Yeah.
way too in your head, girl. Way too in your head. You know what? It would be you're too heavy for me. Like your energy would be way too heavy. Too heavy. I've got to figure it out. That's what she's doing, guys. I'm not picking on her, but she's saying, I'm going to figure it all out. And I'm going to say, I'm going to stay in the eternal moment and allow God's source creator to show me at each moment, because I will stay connected to that God spot in my heart. That's how I live. I will not try to do anything except be in that eternal moment. That's it. Yeah, we're missing the boat here, people. We're missing the boat. What?
Learning. It's a lot of learning process, and I am on it.
Are you German?
No, I'm not. I'm from Colombia.
From where?
Colombia.
Oh, from Colombia. Okay. Beautiful place, Colombia.
Indeed.
Yes.
It is indeed.
Beautiful place.
I miss it quite a lot.
Where do you live now?
In England.
In England. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
here.
All right.
Yes.
What else can I tell you? Or what can you tell me?
Well, what else? How else that my day goes? No, and then it'll be time to get ready to go to bed, and that was it. That will be it. My day. Yeah. I try every, no, it's try no, because try is not doing it, isn't it? So every day, even that I'm in my head trying to figuring things out, I
Did you see that, everyone? Did you get that, everyone? Did you get that? And so
well,
even after I told her that, she couldn't help herself but say it. I've got to figure
course,
everything. No, you don't
it's-
have. You don't have to figure anything out. Stop.
I know.
Stop.
It's just to let you know that you're incorrect. You're in the correct place. So what I was saying is that is even that I'm trying to figure things out, I am in that place. I ground, and I'm in that place of the here and now, because I understand that
One
there's
second.
not.
1 second. I got to
Yeah.
just tell you something.
Okay, do.
Dr. Wolfe, I'm calm, but I'm trying to figure it all out. Okay, we're done. This is not right. It's not right. You're not having enough fun with this.
Okay.
Okay? I would love to see you just try this, and you can come back on in a month if you want, and then you can say, well, you know what, you weren't right. And that's okay. I'm not always right, and I'm not always wrong either, but you know, we'll give it a shot. But the reality is, why don't you try this one? Why don't you start clapping your shoulders, your neck, your face, and your head every night? And then why don't you do the belly button therapy before you go to bed? Just try something different. Why don't you get yourself a rebounder and put on the most beautiful dance music with a 2-step dance music, and then have a mirror and get yourself a rebounder and start dancing in front of the rebounder. I mean, in front of the mirror with a slight smile on your face, and tell me that I will tell you, you will figure out 100 times more than walking and trying to figure it all out.
Okay.
And guess what? And you have just done an exercise that is 100 times stronger. Moving your lymph, moving your blood, and actually exercising your muscles, because you're losing your muscle. Because walking does not create new muscle. There's no stress. You need some stress on there, and the only stress is here trying to figure it all out before you do before the end of your 2-hour walk. It's like, you know, the guy, every time that he has to figure something out, he smokes a cigarette, and little do we know that, guess what, when you smoke a cigarette, you lose 30 to 40% of the oxygen in your brain, so you couldn't figure crap out anyway. And every time you go to figure something out, instead of just connecting your breath and having fun and letting go, you know as well as I do that every time that you have fun and you let go, you get every answer. All right, you're intense. You're intense. You're a lovely intense person.
Thank you.
Okay?
I take it. Hopefully next time we'll meet. I will be less intense and happier, more
No, you're
happier.
not intense to people. Okay, people would say, well, Dr. Wolfe, you're intense. That's intense. I'm talking about let's get rid of the internal intensity. Okay? Because nobody would know. If somebody's watching right now, they go, no, Dr. Wolfe, you're the intense one. Well, yeah, I'm trying to get the message across. I want to crack her coconut from the inside out, because you can't crack it from the outside in. That'd be like trying to crack the egg to or crack the shell to let the chicken out. You'd kill it. So I am trying to be I know I'm a little intense because I'm trying to stir things up. I want to stir some emotion up. I want to stir a new idea up. Remember something. All you have to do is find a higher vibrational program to run, and everything changes.
Yes,
That's it.
indeed.
That's all you had to do.
I believe in that. I believe in that 100%. Yes.
All
And
right.
thank you for reminding me all of these things.
Well, thank you for putting up with me. All right.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. And I just
Yes.
want you to have the best day of your life. And
Thank you.
I know you're in England, so you're probably about 8-9 hours earlier. But if you call me in the morning, okay, before it gets too late, you can always call me on WhatsApp at 469-861-8884. And please understand, I'm not trying to sell you on what I know. I just want you to grow, but grow at your rate and do the things that make you feel good. So don't think that you have to do anything I've told you, but let's just talk, and that's it. Talk, and then see if there's anywhere I can help to tweak it. Feel free to call me, okay?
Thank you. Can you repeat your number, please? It was too fast.
Oh, my apologies. 469
Yes.
861
Yes.
8884. And
Fantastic.
that's WhatsApp. If you have an iPhone, it could be what they call, FaceTime or whatever it is. Okay?
Okay. Thank you
right.
so much. Thank
Well,
you.
no, you're welcome. And I just want you to know that you are a wonderful person, and you got this. There's nothing I can really teach you except, I think, letting go.
That's an important one. Yeah. Big
Yeah,
one.
and I think you still try to figure it out. A lot of it, that's none of your business.
Right. Thank you.
Okay? All right. Have a beautiful day, sweetheart, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Same to you. Thank you.
Well, there you go. And yeah, she's on track. She really is. I mean, everybody's on track, and she really does have it pieced together. But people will not spend the time or spend the money to do something like a whole life certified course. And if you just even want to stick your toe in, everyone, go to bhnapp.com, and I have what's called the Emotional Braveheart Intelligence course, masterclass. It used to be $1,200. It's free now. Just go and do it. Go do it. And understand, I want you to be very, very empathetic and patient with your family, your friends, and the world, because most of the world is not going to wake up. Most of the world is not going to see what you see. Okay? They're just not. And I'm not putting the world down. I'm trying to tell you, they're not going to see what you see. They just need your unconditional love. That's what people need. Okay? And understand, people are not bad. They just have belief systems that are creating what we call sickness, because the belief system is sick. And I don't want to go into it, but I think there's a lot of religions that are pretty sick. I think there's a lot of governments that are pretty sick. I think that most schools are pretty sick. But the teachers were beautiful spirits that were just programmed like everybody else. So let's get rid of hate. Let's get rid of jealousy. Let's get rid of shame. Let's get rid of guilt. And let's teach unconditional love to ourselves. And if we can perfect that, I think you'll find you'll let everybody off the hook on the planet. And those people that you cannot let go of things, don't focus on them. Because, you know, when you judge someone, somebody's got to go to jail. And you could send someone to jail for life, and that could be you. And that's one hell of a bumpy ride. I need everyone to understand that you are beautiful, but you do have to go in and reprogram the subconscious, which is 90% of your brain. There's no critical thinking in the subconscious. It only runs programs. There's no logic there. It only runs programs. And those programs mainly were gotten, 70 to 90% of them were from 0 to 7. And that's your personality, is just the mix of 5 of the most prominent, dominant people that were in your life at that time. So when are you going to become the master and decide to reprogram and have a new personality? It's about being with you. It's not about others. It's about, you know what? I love being with me. I'm fun to be with me. I wasn't always like that. And you know what? I can be in my subconscious and know, because my prominent dominant beliefs, there's none in there that will hurt the 50 trillion cells or the 500 trillion bacteria that have come to create a community called my body. Everybody, I'm going to be having Healers of the Faith. Okay, it's a BHN TV special world event with Judy Mikovits. This is going to rock the socks off of everyone. She's going to talk about her cancer cures, and she says cancer cures. Okay, but then she's a scientist. She's got patents on them. She's got proof. She's going to have all the science. She's going to have anywhere from 16 to 18 people lecturing that day. And that's called the Healers of the Faith, and that's going to be on Sunday, June the 8th. Then on Monday, June the 9th, 12 until 2, okay, Eastern Standard Time, Q&A. And then Wednesday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Q&A. Go to BHN University and sign up if you want to come on the Zoom, or we'll be on all the other platforms. Then we have Gold Care coming on. Does everybody know Simone Gold? Okay, she was the one who came right in Biden's face and came right up against the medical system and said, no more. We are not doing this anymore. We are not doing this. That is enough. Anyways, Dana, who helps to head up Gold Care with Dr. Simone Gold, okay, is actually, they're going to be, Dana will be flying here, and Dr. Simone Gold will be coming on live from her home, and then I'll be here as well, and we're going to have some of the most prominent, dominant doctors that have walked away from the so-called medical system, and now they're becoming more human, and they're understanding, okay, because they were just programmed. That's all. They had blinders on. I have blinders on some things. I'm working on it too. We're all working on it. So anyways, you don't want to miss this, because we're going to be talking about doctors that are still practicing medicine, but they're becoming more naturally oriented. So that if you want a medical doctor, you're going to be hearing about doctors all over, and they've got doctors joining Gold Care all over the world. So you want to tap into this for yourself. You want to be going to a doctor that says, here's your choices. You have a choice. So Sunday, July the 13th, and we'll be running the same Q&A schedule, and you can go to BHN University as we get closer and download that link. On Wednesday, okay, I will be doing the advanced water fast preparation. It's a 3-hour training. I'm going to teach you water fasting is dangerous, that advanced water fasting is not dangerous at all, and it will increase your fast by 500 to 1,000%. I'm saying it will, and I can prove it. If we can create more energy, more stem cells, more autophagy, okay? Can we move this out of the way, please? If we can create more stem cells and more autophagy, meaning eating up the things we don't want in our body without turning on the digestive tract and bypassing the Krebs cycle, that's the art of healing. Okay? Perfect Day consults, I charge $250. My practitioners on a consultation page at Doc of Detox charge $150. We'll send you the audio, and then you have lifetime support. If your practitioner leaves, you've got me. I take over. All right? Nobody gets left behind. All right? So remember something. If you have a template for a perfect day, what do you think you're going to end up having? All right? This is some of our Braveheart line clothing. Sweaters, tees, and sweatpants. We have more coming. And our Braveheart Nation app is the most powerful healthcare, self-care, unconditional love app in the world. I am not kidding. Go in. If you don't like it, just erase it. But go give it a check and see if you do. These are all the different things in it. I'll let you go and find them. You're going to have fun. I'm telling you. How would you like to have fun with yourself? Get to know yourself. Get to love yourself. Get to care for yourself. Again, this is where you can download all our audios. And that's my perfect day guide. This is the greatest gift we can give you. Here it is right here. You can get it in a manual, beautifully grafted graphic art, and it's 600 pages. It'll be delivered to you for $95, or just download it for free and see what you think. See if I know what I'm talking about. Okay, and then we also, can somebody please, hold on. Can somebody please switch these slides? I got it. Okay, great, thank you. Anyways, the Healthy to 100 can also be a PDG download, or you can buy it for $15. This here is the book that was just read by nurses in Canada and the United States, and 2 universities have decided to comment that I've decided to rewrite health, and you see it's not true. This is all about real health and real healing. And then NBC wanted to try to get me to come and do a show on me and play slice and dice like CBC tried to do as well. CBC tried to ruin my reputation and my whole life. And you'll see it, it's still up there. You know, they're always going to come attacking. Understand something. So I want to say one thing. It's not poor, pitiful me. I'm trying to tell you that if you want to find your authenticity, you're going to have to stand in your inner power, because unless you're going to follow the herd, which is going off a cliff, okay, you will be tested. All right. Okay, self-care is the only care, and self-love is the only love. And if you don't believe me, then give it a shot. And it's not going to be painful, and you're not going to go to hell for it. You're not a sinner for it. And this is all a setup, okay, just to upset you and make you sick. You need to learn how to fly. First, love yourself. Okay, can you please show the slide? First, love yourself. Thank you. That's very important, everyone. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, is to love yourself and understand you've got us. We're here for you. I know you may not believe that, but you can call with your questions. We'll never ever tell you, please stop bothering us. We'll take your calls. Do you understand that? You matter. They have made us believe we don't matter. Okay? They've made you believe that everything is about money. It's not about money. It cannot be about money anymore. Okay? All right? They want it to be that. Every one of these billionaire psychos have been given a free ticket to poison and kill and maim as much as they want. All right? And guess what? Whether you believe it or not, it's one big orgasm to them. You think I'm kidding? Yeah. I don't know why you think that, you know, government is a friend. It's not. It's called a frenemy. They're going to give you a half truth, half face. We are stronger when we rise together. Okay? It's about all of us. Nobody gets left behind, because guess what? I am love. I am healed, and I am a brave heart. Today and every day, from the moment that I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Don't you dare let anybody judge you. Okay? Observe. If there's something to learn, learn. But don't you let anybody burn you. You know, people can only give what they have. They can't give anything else. And people out there have some pretty bad beliefs, some people. And understand, they might be in your head, they might be in your bed, they could be in your house. But you need to love, honor, and respect yourself. Because I am, I can, I am healed, I am love, and I am Braveheart. And I'm all in to help you win. God bless.